Yes. No matter how many times I come here, I always get the same sense of oppressiveness somehow. I also don't remember the man's voice at all.
Do you think the place is oppressive? I think it's normal.
How so?
I mean, look at that suit of armor over there. You can't take that seriously, can you?
Maybe it thinks the same about you. So everything is clear with regards to tomorrow's arrangements, I trust, whatever, I don't know.
Yes, thank you very much.
I assume. I don't know. There they are. Sato-san and Lord Strongheart.
I wonder what they're talking about. They both look very serious.
Very good. There's nothing further to discuss. You may return to your lodgings. No doubt you have much to do in preparation for your return to your homeland. She's going back home.
Oh, she can't leave!
Wait, what did he just say? You've returned to your homeland. Sato-san!
Oh, Mr. Naruhodo.
What was all that about? Ah, Mr. Naruhodo. Thank you for coming to collect your colleague. What's this all about? Why were you talking about Mrs. Sato's return to her homeland? And tomorrow? I completely missed the tomorrow part. Completely missed the tomorrow part, but No!
Tomorrow? But what about Ginny's trial?
You mean... She's been formally charged now. Oh dear.
Why are you being sent home?
Mrs. Sato, what's all this about?
Oh, please don't concern yourself, Mr. Naruhodo. It's only me going back to Japan. Your life here can continue just as it has.
That's not what I asked! What happened? Why are you leaving?
It's my father. He's fallen ill.
Oh, doo-doo!
Oh no!
Fuck! Professor Mikotoba? Damn it! Why? Yes, sorry. You must be the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe. Yes, that's right. My name is Eugene Mikotopa. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yuma University. We received an international telegram from the Empire of Japan informing us of the news.
10 days ago, father collapsed with a fever. The cause is apparently unknown, and it seems he grows weaker day by day.
I don't believe it. As you are aware, the voyage from here to your country's capital, Tokyo, takes some 50 days. I thought it would be prudent to hasten Mr. Sato's departure as much as possible. Yes, absolutely.
I will leave London first thing tomorrow morning.
Can't believe this is happening.
Susato!
Aww.
So Gina has been charged? She'll have to appear in court?
Yes, she was formally charged a few hours ago, and the date of the trial has already been set for tomorrow.
No, not even 24 hours later.
Gina? Ah, the Lestrade girl and the murder of the Baker Street pawnbroker, yes. An all too conspicuous case. The pickpocket was clearly disturbed mid-robbery and shot the man in panic. No, the yard is overstretched as it is, without wasting time on these open and shut cases.
It's not wasting time. Ginny would never do something like that.
Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, Lord Strongheart? In deference of your fine service to date, I shall overlook this young girl's insolence. Hey! You can't talk like that to the 10-year-old! But I have no recollection of admitting a child in my office. Leave, now. So rude!
Of course, Lord Strongheart.
Criminals will tell the most palpable lies in order to evade justice. The police can ill afford the time it takes to unravel all their own truths. Meanwhile, more crimes are perpetrated. We have far more serious matters with which to contend. Serious matters. Didn't Gregson mention something like that yesterday?
Yes, Inspector Gregson made a similar remark yesterday.
It's no concern of yours, though I'm sure I need not remind you of that. 3 minutes precisely until my next meeting. You must excuse me. There's just one more thing, Lord Strongheart. Which is Miss Lestrade's trial. I wonder if you might permit me to defend her? Why do you need his permission? A timely suggestion. Sorry? The girl currently has no representation.
But that's not fair!
We already went to visit her.
Yes, she may be a pickpocket, but she still deserves a fair trial.
Iris, you're gonna get me in trouble if you keep talking. Do not misunderstand me, young lady. The government provides for those too poor to afford representation with a public defender. The accused need only sign the relevant paperwork, and a defense barrister will be assigned to the case. However, the young girl in question has refused that right. Why would she do that? Oh, I went completely out of order, didn't I? A question you would do well to direct at Miss Lestrade. You'll find her at the local prison. Yes, thank you. His cane doesn't have that Pharrell thing, whatever the fuck they were talking about. Now then, it's time I was leaving. Good day to you. Are you related to that fucking dancer guy that we saw? What a day. Gina charged with murder. Susato-san about to leave.
Come, Mr. Naruhodo. Iris, we must make haste. But, Susie... You're leaving for Japan tomorrow morning, aren't you? Don't you have packing and things to do? As Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, my personal circumstances are of no consequence. My sole purpose remains to help you in whatever way I can.
Thank you, Mrs. Sato. That's a very pensive look.
I think we ought to visit Gina first. In any case, I should like to wish her well before I leave. Yes, that sounds like a good idea. Let's go.
If I'm honest, this has completely thrown me off. I'll just have to do what I can, as a lawyer. Susato! Bleh. Poo poo doo doo. Hello again, Gina. What are you lot doing here? What are you lot here for now? To have the muzzle of that grenade launcher shoved in our face yet again, obviously.
I think I need to improve the way you load ammunition to that thing, don't I?
Look! You can come as many times as you like, but I ain't got nothing more to say to you. I like that it faded to black because we had already discussed everything with her. I think probably we were supposed to have the whole, like, go through all of her dialogue. But...
Gina, I wonder if you might hear me out. There's something I'd like to say.
What?
I'm sorry to say that I must reluctantly bid you farewell. Farewell? Tomorrow, I must begin my journey back home, to Japan. I fear we may never meet again.
Oh, right.
I've had the pleasure of meeting so many lovely people here in London. I've had so many wonderful memories. And yet, as things stand now, it will be a glum parting indeed. Poor Iris is so miserable. Susie.
Well, that ain't my business.
Both Iris and Mr. Naruhodo believe you to be innocent, Gina. They've put their faith in you. But somehow, you can't find it in your heart to put your faith in them.
Yeah, that's right, I can't. What of it?
It grieves me greatly to have to say goodbye to my friends when they are so clearly unhappy. Because of you. You bitch.
Guilt her. What? It's my fault.
Yes, so I have one final request, Gina, before our paths never cross again. right here and now. I want you to show both of them that you don't deserve the fate they've invested in you. Eh? Only by doing that will you truly be as alone as you claim to be.
What did she say? It sounded like she said something. She said something I wasn't expecting her to say. I want you to show both of them that you don't deserve the fate they've invested in you. Only by doing that will you truly be. I don't know what she's saying. It's okay.
What are you talking about? What do you expect me to do, eh? You've told us that everyone lies. So prove it by admitting one of your own untruths.
Oh yeah, she wasn't here. Susato technically wasn't here when we had that conversation about one of her truth or one of her lies or whatever the fuck she said. I went completely out of order. Oops.
What about what you said before, Ginny? You said something about unforgivable lies. You must tell Mr. Naruhodo and Iris the truth now. That is my last request before I leave. My last request as a judicial assistant. No, I can't.
Whatever these lies are, they're obviously weighing very heavily on Gina's mind. Gina, I could be wrong, but is it something to do with what happened 2 months ago? Something about that trial? Hoity. The one in which Magnus McGilded was acquitted? The case of that mysterious murder that took place inside the omnibus. You were called as a witness by the prosecution. Is that what this is about?
Yeah, you're right. Because in that trial, I lied. I lied like you wouldn't believe.
Of course you did. Will you tell us about it now?
Like you said, it all happened 2 months ago. The couples got hold of me and shoved me in the witness's stand.
And based on your testimony, Mr. McGilded was declared innocent.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I lied about a whole bunch of stuff.
I knew it.
What sort of things did you lie about? I was hiding under the seat that night. That was the truth.
We're finally gonna know.
It was pitch black in that little cubbyhole. I couldn't see a thing. And then...
Oh, a shot! No, what?
I heard that loud thud, like someone falling on the floor. And that's when Mr. McGilded discovered you. Yeah.
Oh look, it changed. It's her now.
He pulled me from under the seat and sat me next to the dead man.
But he doesn't have a knife in him.
There weren't much light to see by, but when I looked at me hands, I have covered
What? There weren't much light to see, but
when I looked at me hands, I had the cove's blood all over them. I was so scared, I couldn't even speak.
You had his blood on your hands. In other words, it was Gina that the witness on the roof deck saw through the skylight. She's clearly not wearing a suit. God damn it, whatever.
Then Mr. McGilded started asking you questions, I suppose. Who you were, and why you were hiding under the seat.
Okay, so they're not related then. Whatever.
Yeah, I did. Only, that's not all.
What do you mean?
I mean, he threatened me.
He threatened you how?
Made me swear about what I see and what I heard. About what he was going to do after the cove was found dead. Made me swear I wouldn't tell no one about any of it. If I did that, he said he'd let me scarf it before the coppers showed up.
Gina, you must tell me what he swore you to secrecy about. What you saw, what you heard, everything. Well, it's nice of her to tell me. Oh my god, Jesus, okay. You said Mr. McGilded. You said, I keep calling him Mr. McGilded, whatever. You said McGilded made you swear not to tell anybody what you saw. But you were in the pitch black compartment under the seat the whole time, weren't you?
Yes, with Mr. McGilded sitting above your head, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's true, but it was when I heard the thud of the cove hitting the floor. I let out a little scream, see? Couldn't help it. McGilded heard that and dragged me out by my arm. and that's when I saw it. He was on the floor next to the Ogiza where I had been stabbed.
Okay.
A disc, all bright and shiny.
Oh!
A disc? Do you mean? Yeah, that's it. The one with the D. The one the D took off me at Windybanks.
So the music box was there, on the floor in the omnibus. The music box disc, sorry.
Not for long. McGildy spotted it straight away. He picked up Smartish and stuffed it inside his pocket.
So that disc was in the omnibus 2 months ago, the scene of Mr. Mason's murder.
And that bog trotter god told me. I went to mutter a word of it to no one. Cause it was so dark under that seat in the cab, I was straining my ears the whole time. After a while, I heard the door and footsteps inside the cabin.
Presumably that was McGildy getting on board.
Nah, not only him.
Oh, cause I could definitely make out the footsteps of 2 people.
In that case, it would seem likely that it was Mr. McGildy and the victim.
Mr. Trice fired Mason.
In his testimony during the trial, Mr. McGildy claimed he slept during the carriage ride.
Hoity-toity, but whenever I'm in a carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tiredness and I always succumb to it.
And your own testimony, Gina, supported this. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. Yeah, that wasn't exactly true. Neither of them was asleep. I could hear him talking the whole time, in low voices.
What? What were they talking about?
Sorry, I don't know. The sound of the horses and the wheels was too loud. But that still tells us something. Mr. McGildy and the victim knew each other.
So McGildy was lying, as I suspected. Of course he was.
I knew it wasn't going to take long before someone raised the alarm that the bloke had been killed. Yes, you were quite right. The other passengers, on the roof deck, noticed it very quickly. So when the cab came to a stop, McGildy told me to hide back under the seat again. I climbed in and waited. The 2 Coles from up top ran off to get the corpus.
Yes, Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First.
Right, and after they gone, McGildy asked the driver to do him a favor.
A favor? Hoity-toity, now then, fella. What I need you to do is take this coat of mine and deposit it into the nearby pawnbroker. And for your troubles, let's see now. I'll give you 10 guineas. A nearby pawnbroker? You mean on Baker Street?
Yep, you got it. It was Windybanks. The coachee snapped up the money and ran off to pop his coat as fast as he could. So then there was no one left in the carriage. McGildy opened the box under the seat and let me get out of there, but not without conditions. I see.
What were McGildy's conditions then? For letting you go free, I mean.
Not telling a soul, not for anything, about what I saw or what I heard. And there was something else as well.
There's more?
Yeah, this is the most important thing, he said.
I'm after sending the coachman on a little errand for me with some small change in his hand. Now then, did you hear what I asked of him? Did you see anything at all? At all?
You asked him to go and pop your weasel, right?
Aye, that fiend's taking me overcoat to deposit with the pawnbrokers hereabouts. God, sorry, 1 second, my mom's calling me. Sorry about that, I actually, stopped playing for 10-20 minutes because of the phone call, so, where was I? Did I read this? How is this voice? Where am I? How did I forget everything already? And I want you lass to take, I want you lass to take the redemption ticket for it. Do you understand?
What? You want me to have the ticket?
That's right, and I'll come fetch it from you later. Something within the next 2 months. You have to hang on to it until then. Is that clear? And whatever you did, don't lose it.
Alright then.
Hoity-toity, and in case I might happen to be delayed at all, you're to go to the pawn shop, win the back, so it is, and you're to extend the loan after 2 months is up. If you forgot, the article will be forfeited and any old fiend could come along and buy it.
Eh? But I ain't got that kind of grass.
Here's £5. That should be enough. Do we understand each other, lass? Don't try anything funny now. If you go against me.
Yeah, I get it.
Good. And one more thing. In a few days from now, you'll be visited by the police, I've no doubt.
The coppers?
Aye, they'll come asking you to take the stand in court, to testify as a witness. So let's just have a wee chat about that, shall we? What it is that you might say, and what it is that you want. So she was supposed to extend the loan, but she didn't even do. She took it. But then someone else tried to grab the stuff.
After he gone over and all, I piked it. Causeway as far as there as I could. He hid the pawnbroker's ticket in some bushes near the scene.
Whatever, God, I don't know what that was.
I went to fetch it the next day once it got dark.
So Miguel had planned it. And coerced Gina into giving false testimony. Yeah, well, duh. The fact she was even there at the court at all indicates that something was fishy, though.
I bet you're ready to string me up, eh? I lied. In that big old courtroom, I told some quokers. The thing is, he said he would make it so we couldn't live in the East End no more. That's what he threatened me with. What a wicked man. He knew everything what went on in the back slums. He knew we had no one to look after us, and we was all just looking out for each other, getting by together. So you mean, Mr. McGilded would have... In a heartbeat, he could have had a lot of us chased out there if you wanted. And then where we could have gone, eh? Nowhere, that's where. So, I didn't have a choice.
Thank you, Gina, for telling us everything.
But I'm for it now, eh? Go on, admit it. You must be livid.
Well, you can make amends by doing me a simple favor.
A favor? What?
Sign the representation papers for tomorrow's trial.
Eh?
If you don't actually want me to represent you in court, you can rip it up later. But we need that paperwork, or we can't investigate. The police won't let us.
Investigate what?
The scene of the incident last night. Mr. Sholmes was shot, you see.
You what? Haley's having a big operation right now, Ginny. Is it bad? Is he gonna be alright? Sholmes is gonna be alright, right?
That's why I want to investigate. For Mr. Sholmes' sake as much as anything.
Right. So what you're saying is, if I sign that bit of paper, everyone's happy, is that it?
Something like that. Miss Susato?
Yes, of course. I have the representation papers here. I don't need no one to stick up for me though. No lawyer or nothing.
Just accept the damn help, kid. Come on.
Poor Ginny. She seems so lonely.
Gina's representation papers have been entered. The paperwork signed by Gina put me in charge of the defense, showing this Scotland Yard detective Gina's exit the crime scene. Well, at least this should mean we can investigate the scene at Windabanks now. Banks, whatever.
Yes. And perhaps we can come back to visit Ginny when we're done here?
Or when we're done there even? Whatever. I feel like we finally cracked Gina. She's opened up to us at last. And now I have her representation papers. No one else knows just what a responsibility that is. Anyway, for now, it means Inspector Gregson can't stop us investigating at Windabanks. Although, something tells me he's not going to be happy about it. Oh, it's fine. we had a to be continued not that long ago, but I also can't remember when. I don't remember anything that happened in the last session. Okay. Oh, oh, oh. Let's keep going. Am I long hauling this? Uh-oh. No, I can't. There's no way. There's no way I'm gonna be able to do the trial too. That'd be crazy. Unless. No, probably not. Here we are again at the scene of the crime. Now to thrust these representation papers in Gregson's face and see what he makes of them. Mario! Hello again, Inspector. Do you have a minute, please? What is it now? You should go home and get some rest.
Here you are, Gracie. Here are the representation papers.
Your ladyship. Oh! I don't believe it. How in the devil did you get that stubborn little ragabash to sign that? I salute you. That is good work, that is.
I can see you've been very busy here as well. How about some tea? It's a special blend designed to relieve fatigue.
Now I want tea. Ah, lovely. Well, let's see now. Yes, yes, I hardly feel tired at all. I'm fit as a fiddle, your ladyship. Would it be alright if we investigated the scene of the crime then? Do what you please. You know where it happened. Through that door behind the counter. Yes, the storeroom. That's where I discovered Mr. Windebeck and Gina. We're gonna investigate out here first though. Right, well, I'll be getting back to business then. Will you be investigating in the storeroom as well, Inspector? If I'm perfectly honest, we need to wrap this up before long. Can't afford to spend too much time on it. But there are so many articles to go through, it's taking forever, even with the lads working around the clock. Which is a problem, because there's another case the yard needs to investigate urgently. That must be what Lord Strongheart meant by far more serious matters before. So what I'm saying is, don't get under my feet, Sunshine! But what if I want you to step on me, Daddy?
Come then, let us not waste any time.
I wanted to say it earlier, but I didn't want to interrupt the flow of conversation. Tea is such a I think I have a way too unrefined palate, because I feel like when you drink tea plain, like regardless of what tea, aside from maybe like green tea, I think, I feel like the taste of tea is so like, it's too subtle. Like I can't enjoy it like how other people do without like milk and sugar. Like I don't get it. Green tea is the only one I can do okay with, and even then it can't be hot. Like I can only enjoy. No, that's not true. I can enjoy some teas that are served hot and like on its own. It's just that, like the people lose their minds over tea like on their own, like without any like accoutrements or whatever. And I don't understand that how. And I wish I could, because I really want to be able to enjoy all the different types of teas, but I don't. I can't. Not without milk and sugar. Or in my case, every day I drink Earl Grey tea with a splash of milk and some vanilla syrup. But like, whatever. Now can I investigate this? Look here. Ooh, look how detailed that is. Damn. So there's blood on there. Is that from the shot itself? Okay.
Oh yes, a bullet hole. And I can see the bullet is still lodged in the wall.
Presumably, Mr. Windebeck wasn't practicing with his revolver in his spare time. This happened at midnight, right? This happened at midnight because the date on the calendar changed.
Well, Mr. Sholmes likes to practice in his drawing room whenever he can. He's very patriotic like that.
Sorry?
It's all there in the Adventures of Herlock Sholmes, you know. Isn't that right, Iris? Did I write something like that? Partly in jest, perhaps. In jest? Well, he doesn't do it often. It is quite a dangerous pastime.
He doesn't do it often. He shouldn't even do it once.
Forget that for now, Runo. Let's examine his bullet.
What's that around the bullet hole? Is it blood? A suspicious red stain on the calendar.
Aha! I may well be able to help with that.
What?
There's nothing like the sight of blood to get the blood pumping, is there, Runo?
I have a feeling I'm not as bloody-minded as you, Iris.
I'm I'm afraid the sight of blood makes my blood run cold. There you have it, you see? When it comes to blood, we're all different types.
Yes, what a scientific observation.
So you need this.
Oh no, what is that scary looking thing?
Harley and I haven't actually come up with a name for it yet. But as soon as you see it in action, you'll understand what it does. Watch.
Don't shoot me at it. What? No, okay. You shot that while the fucking, not the bloke, what do you call him? The constable, the officer, is just staring at it. Oh, the color of the blood stain has changed. Doesn't that mess with the, oh, what? It's not green anymore.
There, does it make sense now?
Yes, I think I'm starting to understand.
Good. It works on the principle that different people have different types of blood, you see. Yes, how wonderful. The chemical in fires combines with the blood and makes it change color. So you can identify whose blood it is that you're looking at. In a flash.
But that messes with the blood itself, doesn't it?
Oh, what a fabulous invention, Iris. Isn't it? I bet Ginny would say it's bleeding great.
So, whose blood are we looking at then?
Well, all the chemical does is turn the blood a different color, so... Just find someone whose blood turns the same color, and you'll know who it belongs to. In a flash.
It's more like 2 flashes, really, isn't it?
1 flash or 2. This could well turn out to be a very valuable clue. So we must make a note of it in the court record.
Okay, a sample of blood analyzed with a special chemical indicator developed by Mr. Sholmes. Different people's blood turns different colors. It's a portfolio now.
Let's keep testing and adding the results of any other blood analysis to the portfolio.
If you say so.
As long as I have Regent left, sure.
You better be sure. Yeah, let's look at this again. This is that strange contraption that lets you see pictures of things as if they were right in front of your eyes. It makes you think. When Mr. Sholmes gleefully showed it to us yesterday, we were blissfully unaware that any of this was about to happen. Aw. Hey there, sir. This officer has been staring intently at the wall since before we came in here. Keep it on! What? Oh, sorry. There's a major clue just there.
Really? Then we must tell Gracie at once.
But as soon as I report it, that'll be it. I'll be stuck here even longer. Stuck here? What do you mean? I haven't been home in 2 days already. I need another constable to relieve me and take over me shift. They really have a tough time, the British police. You would think that they would just all quit.
That doesn't stop us investigating though, does it?
No, I suppose not. I'm fairly sure it was the calendar he was peering at. Oh, that's fine. We already looked at it. Is there, Oh yeah, this thing on the floor. I'm fairly sure this contraption was here yesterday as well. Here we are. Though I'm not confident I can get it closed again.
Oh yes, that's a folding stereoscope.
Really? This is a stereoscope. Mr. Sholmes showed us a picture yesterday that you were supposed to be able to see in 3 dimensions. But for that, he used a great big contraption over there.
Ah, well, that's for use in public houses and places like that. It contains a carousel with all sorts of pictures inside. But this little thing is a much simpler design for use at home. There are special shops selling prints you can use in them. I have a little collection myself.
I wonder if I can make money out of these in Japan. It would be keeping my toilet sparkling clean anyway. What? What does that have to do with your toilet? What? The police are scouring every inch of this place, by the look of it. Instructions from the Yard to examine every article in the shop and every ledger in the book of accounts. Every article? But that's a ridiculous amount of work, surely! We've been hard at it ever since the shop was declared a crime scene in the early hours. We're sifting through all of it in shifts at least, but still. We'll be working through the night, that's for sure. And even then we'll barely have scratched the surface. Crime in the pawnbrokers. It must be every policeman's worst nightmare. It's every corporal's worst nightmare, you know. A crime in the pawnbrokers. He can't read minds, that's for sure.
These shelves are where the pawnbrokers put articles that have been forfeited on display for customers to buy.
Yes, it's a really strange miscellany, isn't it? I mean, who would buy this horse statue, for example?
Well, sometimes you can find some real treasures among all the junk, you know. Are you alright, Runo?
Oh, it's just... Well, it looks like a collection of useless junk as a whole, but when you pick out individual things, you can't help wishing you owned them. Even that horse statue.
That's exactly how the pawnbroker works. They're very clever.
Horse looks pretty scary looking. Jukebox.
That's a music box. Do you have them where you come from, Runo?
Yes, but I've never seen one as large as this in Japan.
Oh, well, this will be a treat. Shall we have a listen? What do you think? Isn't it a pretty sound?
It's a beautiful sound, yes. But it's a little hard to enjoy when all the policemen in the room are giving you fierce looks.
Never mind that. If any of them say anything, I'll tell Grixie to have a word.
Iris Wilson, Superintendent of Scotland Yard. It's a good position to have. Okay. So let's look at this glass on the floor. Just kidding, I can't look at it. I probably have to examine the lamp itself. Kitty! Hey, that's the same exact picture. Oh, there must be a note on the back of it. There's the article ledger here, and Mr. Winnebago's notes. And, what's this? It looks as though someone has left a little photographic print behind.
Oh, look at the back. There's some writing. He's there? Oh, show us, Susie. Show us.
Oh, it's the same, there's a fingerprint on it. I mean, a blood print on it. A bloody fingerprint, whatever. 15th February, 10:30 p.m. Article deposited. 1 gentleman's overcoat. Loan amount paid, £1. Redemption deadline, 15th April of 10:30 p.m. A gentleman's overcoat pawned for £1. Clearly it was a very fine coat. In fact, I think...
Yes, this must be the ticket for the overcoat that Ginny redeemed yesterday.
And is still wearing, which belonged to Mr. McGilded. I would never have expected the redemption ticket to be handwritten on the back of a photograph, though.
It seems Mr. Winterbeck you just used whatever piece of paper he happened to have on hand.
But this photograph of a cat, it looks very familiar, doesn't it? I'm sure I've seen this exact same picture somewhere else recently.
Oh, yes, you're right. Very recently. It's the same one as the one Ginny gave us earlier.
Of course. I was forgetting that she gave us that print.
Well, what are you waiting for then, Mr. Naruhodo? Get it out!
Alright. Let the cogs turn. Oh my god, they're looking in slightly different directions. That's weird.
Yes, they're exactly the same.
I guess then that means it's not a copy print. It's that someone took like 2 pictures of the cat.
Hehe, I've got it. These 2 photographs hide an amazing secret.
A secret? What does she mean?
You must tell us, Iris, at once. Do you really want to know?
Yes, we need you to tell us all you know about this pair of photographs. What? Did I miss something on this? This is the one that Gina gave us, right? Yeah, the 10 shillings. I don't know what's more. Is shillings or pounds worth more? I have no idea. Anyway, I guess we'll talk to what's her name about it. So Iris, about these 2 photographic prints. The one we found here on Mr. Winnebago's counter, and the one Gina gave us before. What is this amazing secret you mentioned that's hidden between these 2 identical prints?
Actually, that's not quite right.
Sorry?
If you look carefully, the 2 prints aren't the same. Not exactly.
Well, yeah, I knew that. They're not? Oh, I guess they didn't know that.
Have another look at them now.
You know, play a puzzle of can you spot the difference? The cat's looking in a different direction. I get it. That's fine.
Can you see that they're just slightly different from each other?
I think so. It's very subtle, though.
But what's the reason for the subtle difference between the 2 prints? Well, it's because they're a set, you see.
No, I don't...
This pair of photographs. It's meant to be used in a stereoscope. Everyone in London is raving about them at the moment.
A stereoscope? Why do I feel as though I've heard that word before recently? Bitch.
Oh yes, that's what Mr. Sholmes showed us yesterday. You see? There it is, just over there.
Ah yes, of course. That magical machine that makes pictures look almost real enough to touch. Are we gonna look at it in a stereoscope?
Well, actually, it's quite possible to see the same depth in pictures even without one of those contraptions.
What? Really?
Do you know how a pair of flat photographic prints can appear to have any depth in the first place? No, I have no idea. Oh, wonderful! Then I'll be able to tell you.
She's over the moon. Bless her. Oh, should we let her explain though? We really need to carry on investigating the scene.
Of course. I, for one, simply have to know.
We gotta let her tell us. Oh, that's more things than I thought. Okay.
Have you ever considered, Runa, how our eyes see depth in the world around us?
Well, I just opened them, and it works. I mean, yeah. But the reason
it works is because we have two eyes.
2 eyes. Shocking.
If you try closing just one at a time, I think you'll see straight away what you see with your left eye and what you see with your right eye are ever so slightly different. You get a different view with each eye. Yes, the position of objects seem to shift slightly.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess so.
Exactly. And in your head, your brain uses that shift to estimate depth as it merges the two views into one. That's how we can sense depth in everything we see.
My brain really is amazing, isn't it? It does so much without telling me.
Ah, I think I see. So the pair of photographs consists of a left eye view and a right eye view. Is that right? Oh, well done, Susie! You're so quick!
So, if you can persuade your brain to merge the two pictures together in your head, you'd be able to see the depth in these prints?
Yes, Runo, you're beginning to understand.
And a stereoscope's function is to act as your brain and allow you to do just that.
Yes, but as long as you have two images, two eyes, and one brain, you can actually do it yourself without needing a stereoscope at all.
You can? Really? Is it like having to go cross-eyed or something?
Let's try it. Let's see if you can view this pair of prints without the help of a stereoscope. Oh yes, I'm dying to have a go.
Sato-san really loves this kind of thing.
You need to be able to cross your eyes. That's the main thing. Can you both do that?
Cross my eyes? I think I can.
Watch me and see if you can copy.
Oh, I love that they made her do it.
Make your eyes do this.
Like right now?
Alright, let me try. Are you ready, Mr. Naruhodo?
Is she gonna do it? Oh, I love it.
Wonderful. Now it's your turn, Runo.
Yo, this is gonna fucking hurt though. If you do it for too long.
The trick is to concentrate on looking at the bridge of your nose with both eyes at the same time.
Not exactly an easy task when two people are staring at you cross-eyed.
Alright, that's enough practice. Now let's try looking at the prints.
I'm pretty sure I can do it, right? Like you have to focus on, I can't see it obviously, but does that work? Won't know until I edit.
Start by staring at one print and slowly crossing your eyes. You should see two overlapping images like this.
Are you gonna just illustrate it for us? Because I don't want to.
You try it now, Runo.
I'm just going to have to give it a try, I suppose. Do I have to do it like physically? No, I only see one picture here. That can't be it.
Did the prints fill in two images for you? Now the next step.
Oh, was this? Oops, maybe I was supposed to do it.
Is to put the pair of prints side by side like this, and then try crossing your eyes again.
Fine, I'll try it. I can't see shit. Whatever. Never mind. Just fucking do it for me.
The prints slowly merged together until...
Oh, until it's staring directly at me?
They form a new single image in the center. Oh, yes! Mr. Naruhodo, it works! I can see it in the middle now. It looks so real, and I can look at it all day.
She looks crazy. I wouldn't advise that. Your eyes might start to hurt.
Your turn, Runo.
Yeah, I don't want to. It's fine. I can see it. The cat stares right in the middle. Pretend you're
looking through the two pictures and slowly cross your eyes.
I like barely did it, and the temple here already hurts.
Keep adjusting the position of your eyes until the two images overlap exactly in the middle.
Like this, is it? I'm not doing it.
Yeah, you managed it. So now you know how stereoscopic images work. Well, I don't know who discovered it, but it really is quite extraordinary.
Now, how does that help us?
So what do you think of these stereoscopic prints then, Runo?
They're certainly amazing, but it isn't easy to get the knack of viewing them properly.
No, some people find it easier than others. But that's why contraptions like this exist, for people who find it tricky. Oh, I recognize that. We saw one over there yesterday, didn't we? If I remember correctly, you press this little knob here.
Where do you put the pictures?
And then set the pair of photographs in the stand on the back and...
It's still amazing, even though I know roughly how it works now.
Well, London seems to agree with you. Stereoscopes are very popular at the moment. You can find one of these folding contraptions in lots of households in the capital currently.
But if these little machines are so affordable, surely there's no need to go around staring cross-eyed at pictures like you hate them.
But it's much more satisfying to be able to see the effect with your own eyes. Well, I think so in any case.
Stereoscopic pictures. I've never even heard of them until yesterday. We've certainly learned a lot about them, but I wonder if it's knowledge that I'll ever actually need. Well, the game is teaching me that, of course it is. Second, whatever. Okay, so we were still examining some stuff here. That ledger that's open on the counter there really is enormous, isn't it? It must have been an awful lot of work to keep track of all those hundreds of items in pawn.
It's too much to think about. Better to set it all than have a clear head if you ask me.
But clearly Mr. Winneback was very careful when it came to articles in his care. I'm trying to investigate the fucking lamp. No? We're not gonna talk about the fucking lamp? I just wanted to point at the lamp. Weird. Alright, I guess we're not looking at the lamp.
Behind that door is the storeroom, isn't it? That's what Trixie said.
Yes, and that's where I saw that dreadful scene last night. Through the little window in the door. Oof. Mr. Winneback, face down on the floor, with Gina beside him. As the accused's legal representative, you have the right to examine the scene, Mr. Naruhodo.
We must make a thorough investigation.
Yes, of course, and we will. Behind that door, that's the real scene of the crime.
Don't worry, if there are clues in there, I'll find them.
How reassuring. Okay, let's go in. How do I go in? Do I just... Oh, there, okay.